chase it. It looked great, and that's what they told you in the academy, to get out and you ride around or you sit on a post all day long. But really, very little of what we do is actually putting people in jail. Really, it's nowadays, our cops are called on to be social workers, teachers, parents, and you've got to have the best trained, the most flexible, the most innovative and creative and dedicated people. I wouldn't stand up here and ask for your support for this position if I didn't think Bernalillo County wasn't already doing that. We recruit, we train, and we retain the best and most productive and most educated, most valued deputies in the entire state of New Mexico. I really couldn't be more excited to be a part of that organization and excited to be friends with so many of them and so many of them that are here today. Our sheriff has got to be dedicated to standing up for each one of them, empowering our deputies to do innovative problem solving. We've got to give them the training and the tools that we need to get them to do the job that we expect of them. That's what our sheriff needs to do. Our communities deserve a sheriff who's responsible. We've got to be responsible with public resources. We've got to be responsive to our community's calls for help. And when we put all those things together, it means that we are going to take our focuses and we're going to take our resources, give it back to the deputies, empower them to get out in the communities, because our communities here in Bernalillo County, they're not the same. We can't use a cookie-cutter approach. You can't use the same approach in the North Valley or on 4th Street in Los Ranchos that you can use in the East Mountains, because the people are different. The individuals, their problems, their needs, and their issues are different. And that's what we're talking about in this race. Law enforcement today is not as simple as it was a few years ago. Criminals go online now to do gang recruitment, to solicit for all kinds of crimes, horrible things that some of our deputies and our investigators deal with every day, where most of us are fortunate not to ever have to be exposed to. But criminals are also smarter because of what CSI's done for them. And that means that we have to be smarter. In law enforcement, we have to be smarter. We have to implement crime analysis that shows us when crime trends are popping up before they become a problem, and then we have to focus our resources to solve them. That means that if there's a problem in your neighborhood, and if you have a serial burglar that's working in your neighborhood, the first ones to know should be the sheriff's department. The first ones to respond should be the sheriff's department, not the neighbors talking about it over coffee at 7-Eleven on the corner. We can do more and focus our resources to make a better community, and I couldn't be more excited about that. County residents, for instance, should know who their area commanders are. They've got to know who the people are that go out and make things happen. You should have their cell phone numbers. You should know who the cop is that works your beat, and you should be able to talk to them. We need to make our community members and our community leaders more responsive. The area commanders and the sheriff should be at the neighborhood association meetings, should be talking to the neighborhood, should be involving them in the community-oriented policing process and the problem-solving process. That's why, for instance, I proposed expanding the COPS program to include business beats, focusing deputies whose job it is to engage with our local businesses, to make those shopping centers more inviting for customers and less inviting for crooks. That means that we need to put deputies out. We can put them on bicycles, put them on ATVs so that they're out and involved and able to touch the community, but they also can work with our businesses to focus on how do we make business better? How do we move these abandoned cars? How do we move along the people that don't belong here? How do we identify the people that are targeting them?